Welcome to another Friday class, everyone. I am so happy that you have decided to attend. My name is Mapuana, and I am your host for today. Last week, I was on vacation at Pismo Beach, so I did the class out of my trailer. It was a great class, right, on self-care for the caregiver by my friend Sherry. But I am back home and into my regular routine. And so here we are on another Friday. It is June 21st. And on this beautiful Friday, I hope that you are thriving and you feel capable and ready to learn something new. Okay? Our subject today is menopause brain. And my intention is to help you feel empowered when it comes to this subject. I believe it is a time of life to look forward to and embrace instead of dread or be fearful of or to even be angry about. Some women feel very angry about this time of their life. Now, it has been shown that having a positive outlook can actually make a physical difference. So, women with a positive attitude are reported to have lower severity of menopausal symptoms. So this is a time period of major transition that can actually take years to go through, right? And so some people believe that it's a short amount of time, but for most of us, it takes years. For me personally, that was the hardest thing to accept about this time in my life. But once I realized that it was going to take years, not just like 1 or 2 years, but maybe even more, right? And once I made a decision to surrender to the process, then I began to actually feel a shift in my body. So here in our doTERRA community, we promote overall well-being of women across their lifespan, right? We have products that can help newborns all the way to senior citizens and everyone in between, and we know that. But doTERRA comes into a special place during this time of life. So helping women to gain more tools to navigate the perimenopausal transition can actually set a stage for a healthy post-menopausal life, which is important because that part of life often can last for decades. So, this new science about the menopause brain is exciting to learn about because it allows those of us in this stage of life to show self compassion, to be a little bit more patient with ourselves, and to prioritize self care, and to admit that it is going to take some lifestyle changes that will result in a big difference when it comes to symptom management. So, menopause brain is a real thing. Brain imaging studies of women conducted before and after menopause revealed physical changes in the structure, connectivity, and energy metabolism of the brain. Of course, we know for decades that some doctors have told women about brain fog, insomnia, mood swings in their midlife being all in their heads and that they're just imagining things, right? Well, now emerging brain research shows that they're right in a way, but not because we're imagining it. It's actually because our brains are going through a reconstruction. So we're not crazy and we're not losing our minds. And now there's scientific evidence to prove it. And so in 2017, Dr. Muscani, a neuroscientist and brain health specialist, her and her colleagues published the first brain imaging study that's demonstrating a difference in brain activity between women who are premenopausal and those who are at the perimenopausal state and postmenopausal stages. Each stage, their brain looked differently. She wrote a book, and I posted that book in my Instagram stories. It's called The Menopause Brain, and it unravels these mysteries by revealing how menopause doesn't just impact the ovaries, it's actually a hormonal show in which the brain takes center stage. So, the decline of the hormone estrogen during menopause influences everything from body temperature to mood to memory. And they say that it's potentially paving the way for cognitive decline later in life. But to conquer those challenges successfully, Dr. Mascani brings us the latest approaches. She even explains in her book the role of cutting edge hormone replacement therapies like designer estrogens, hormonal contraception, and key lifestyle changes. Interestingly enough, she talks a lot about diet, exercise, self care, self talk, and some of the other things that we hear about in our doTERRA classes. Now, one thing she said that I like is we associate menopause with ovaries, but when women say that they're having hot flashes, night sweats, insomnia, memory lapses, depression, anxieties, those symptoms don't start in the ovaries. They start in the brain. So when you think about it, doesn't that really just make more sense? Let's stop for a second and ask what doTERRA offers that supports brain function. I think all of us can quickly come up with a couple of oils like frankincense, patchouli, sandalwood, those that definitely cross the blood-brain barrier, right? In our essential oil book, you can look up topics like brain fog, menopause, brain injury. You'll find oils like peppermint, motivate, Spanish sage, rosemary, even Shinrin yoku. Okay. When it comes to brain injury, a few of the same oils like frankincense is mentioned, but others such as balance, DSR prime, even bergamot can be helpful. And then you could look up the subject of focus in our essential oil book. And the oils listed there are familiar to many of us as well. In Tune, Thinker, Vetiver, cedarwood, and even supermint. Then when we could also look up the issue of menopause in our essential oil book, and it will take you to another category where they discuss women's health in general. And you'll find other oils that are available to us. Some of our favorites are Clary Calm, Passion, Clary Sage, Whisper, even Zendocrine and Thyme are listed in the book for us to help. But what about supplementation? Do we have supplements from doTERRA that can help us with menopause brain? The answer is yes. Okay. Right now, I am actually having a lot of success with our newly reformulated Mito 2 Max. Throw up a heart if you have had the opportunity to try the new Mito 2 Max. The addition of PPQ and coenzyme Q10 is amazing, and I can feel a difference between the old one and the new reformulated Mito 2 Max. Now, if you haven't had an opportunity to learn much about that or sample the new one, I am going to drop an article in the chat where you can learn more about it and the specific ingredients. And then you can put it on your LRP and sample it because it is pretty powerful. I love it. And my husband has actually taken it too. Now, of course, we cannot leave out basic foundational products like Lifelong Vitality, our MetaPower Advantage, the collagen, our turmeric soft gels, the adaptive soft gels, the phytoestrogen, the bone nutrient complex, our yarrow palm capsules, right? Anybody else want to shout out one thing that came to their mind if I haven't hit it already, whether it be an oil or a supplement? Just unmute yourself. What are you guys thinking about as far as products that can help? Oh, I saw Wendy Duane is in the chat. She said omegas. Very good.
I like motivate.
Uh-huh. We have a lot at our disposal to help us. But now let's jump into a short video where Dr. Mosconi is being interviewed on the Today Show about her book. Let me share my screen. And, oh, wrong button, Mapwana. There you go. So here she is under the topic Navigating the Menopause Brain on the Today Show. And so I'm sure you're going to like this video. We're just going to play it like this. This comes straight from YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it at another time, you can.
Menopause is a rite of passage for all women of a certain age, and with it comes physical and emotional changes. Many women are familiar with the changes, but some of the changes will catch them off guard.
Hot flashes and night sweats, insomnia, anxiety, depressive symptoms, brain fog, has so many functions.
But according to Dr. Lisa Mosconi and her innovative research, it turns out that these uncomfortable and disruptive symptoms don't come from changes in the ovaries. They come from changes in the brain.
This is revolutionary, right? The idea that this is generated by the brain. It's not that it's new in terms of science, but it's new in terms of explaining to women, this is what's going on.
Women will go through menopause, and that is the end of a woman's reproductive life. And that's really only half of what menopause is all about. It does impact your brain and your brain health. This component to menopause has been completely overlooked.
Her 2017 study was the first ever published about the effects of menopause on the brain. With Mosconi's sights set on the subject, she says her discoveries could be game-changing for women.
If you look at the brain and the brain changes that take place as a woman goes from having a menstrual cycle to not having a menstrual cycle, there is a reduction in brain energy levels, reductions in gray matter volume in very specific brain regions. We see the blood flow to the brain is also impacted.
You can actually tell a woman, your brain is changing and we can prove it to you.
Yes, and that was wonderful for us because it's about validating what women have been saying for hundreds of years.
Until now, women have been given little information on this transitional period, what she calls going from reproductive to productive. And while many might fear the changes, Mosconi says she believes for some women, their brains could actually be better after menopause than before.
What we find during puberty and during pregnancy is that the brain actually shrinks. And the shrinkage means that some neurons are lost. And perhaps that's also part of what we're seeing in menopause. All those neurons that are important for reproduction, you don't need them anymore.
So you're saying that you have a theory that menopause actually might be good for the brain and that it's a chance to get leaner
and
meaner or more efficient.
This is something we're testing right now. The menopause brain is a brain in transition, and that comes with some vulnerabilities, but also with resilience. And the resilience aspect has really been overlooked in Western medicine.
What do you want people to take away from the menopause brain?
Women have been taught to really fear their hormones and doubt their brains. And that is unacceptable. The more women talk about menopause openly, the sooner we'll be able to come up with the information that we really need to make sure that all of us can embrace this life event without fear, but armed with knowledge and confidence.
I think that's the main thing, armed with knowledge and confidence. And this book is called The Menopause Brain, but these symptoms start in perimenopause. So women will experience depression, irritability, lack of sleep, all of these things that they often go to the doctor and are given an SSRI because they're told they're depressed. But this is a normal part of the perimenopause to menopause transition.
This revelation about it being brain-centered change treatment?
Well, it changes, yes, because it can change when you start, if you choose to start HRT. And there's a window that most doctors believe is a good time to start, and that is a neuroprotector of the brain. And this is a whole evolving area of science right now that is getting a lot of attention and much needed and much overdue.
A big
So wasn't that an exciting video? You can catch the rest of it on YouTube. It is available to watch. Dr. Moscani has a great Instagram page, and she is actually conducting more studies and looking for participants. So go follow her and find out more about it. What I loved is that she dispels the myth that menopause signifies the end. And then she also says that it's actually a transition. And so, contrary to popular belief, if we know how to take care of ourselves during perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, then we can emerge from the whole experience with the renewed, enhanced brain, and then usher in a more meaningful and vibrant chapter in our life. Now, my next resource to share is Dr. Mary Claire Haver, MD and author of another book called The New Menopause. She recently interviewed Dr. Moscani on her Instagram page, and that was a really fun live to watch. She's an OBGYN and has a website that is called The Pause Life. So I highly recommend that you check out her website to learn more as well. Now, both of these doctors believe in making lifestyle changes during this transitional phase of life that prioritizes self-care and self-compassion. So we can incorporate all of our doTERRA products and all of the free education that our company offers, along with their beliefs as well, to help not only ourselves, but all of the other people in our communities and our families that are maybe heading into this phase of life or are currently in their phase. Our doTERRA lifestyle pyramid actually covers all of the important areas of health, and we have products that fall into each one of those categories. So at the bottom, you will find nutrition and digestion are very important. Movement and metabolism, right? We talk about exercise, metabolic health, and then we address rest and managing stress and how important those things are to our overall health, and even reducing toxicity and how important that is. So living a doTERRA lifestyle can help the development of menopause brain and support this time of life so that we can manage all of the symptoms that come along with it, whether they are intense or minor, and continue to thrive. So now I'm going to open it up to questions, answers. I want to hear your thoughts on that video and even maybe some success stories, because I know some of you here are experiencing things and maybe you have something that you can offer that might help one of us. Anyone want to share? Okay, Jenny can't unmute, but she did drop it in the chat. She feels better prepared when she gets to that chapter. Good, I'm glad. Because this is a conversation that needs to take place more often, right? We can go into great detail about every single one of the symptoms that come up. Like we just had a class about hot flashes only, not all of the other symptoms that come up as well. Aurora, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I had a total hysterectomy back when I was in my 40s, so over 10 years ago. And when I started using doTERRA and implementing all the different things, it made a huge difference in the way that I felt because I was just thrown right into it at the age about 40, 41 years old. And that's hard when you're at that age and you're just completely thrown into it with everything taken out. And the phytoestrogen, LLV, those were game changers when it came to how I felt after the fact. And in fact, it also implementing, after you hit menopause, you get the weight gain. And I was just going up and up and up. And once I start implementing the healthy lifestyle and the doTERRA products, it just made a huge difference in the way that my body worked, and it worked better.
Awesome. I'm so glad you brought that up because the percentage of women who have had a hysterectomy is pretty high in this country, right? And so they still go through. That's like an automatic, pushed into menopause. And so there's crazy things taking place when you start eliminating organs. And I'm glad you said that doTERRA has helped you in that way as well. All of our products really help the body to come into a natural balance. And so I love that. I agree. Aurora Jones says lifelong vitality and phytoestrogens are a game changer. Yes, the phytoestrogens I cannot live without. I always have an extra bottle just in case. And then Wendy Duenas said that she knows people have told her peppermint works great for hot flashes, and some put it in a spray bottle. Yes, that is true. Super mint, spearmint, all of the mints can help with hot flashes or body temperature fluctuations. Mentha Carter said, I wish I knew doTERRA when I was in the heart of my menopause. Yeah, see? So some of us are beyond, some of us are going to come into it, some of us are there now. But just know that doTERRA has lots to offer us at every transitional part of our life. So for the teenagers who are experiencing the onset of a menses or a cycle, we have lots to help them, right? For people who experience or pregnant women, mommy brain fog, right? Pregnancy brain, we have products for them. And now we know how many products we have to help us with menopause brain. So I hope that you enjoyed this class. We are almost at our time. Anyone else want to go ahead and share an experience or something that they think might help during the season? The bone nutrient. Oh, one of my other products, I put it away, but the beautiful hydrating mist is amazing. Not only does it smell good, but it feels good on your skin. And I just love that thing after a shower. Makes me feel beautiful, which then, emotions are involved. So I love having doTERRA in my life at this point in time. I do not know what I would do without doTERRA. I'd be a totally, totally different person. So all right, everybody, we are at our time. Thank you so much for attending. Next week's Friday class is going to be related to the doTERRA business side. So if you share doTERRA with others, if you want to learn how to use your refer a friend link, if you have questions about rank, Power of Three convention that's coming up in September, please join us next week. We're going to be talking about a lot of those things. You could text me with any kind of personal business questions that you have, and we can go over that information as well. Otherwise, July, we have a couple of really good classes coming up as well. And Jenny just dropped in the chat. Dr. Scott Johnson posted a study about lavender and sexual dysfunction for post-menopause. Awesome. So we'll check that out on his Facebook page. Everything he posts is very, very helpful. So follow me on Instagram at Dream Manifest Grow. Watch for the recording of this class if you want to share it with anyone on my YouTube channel. And we shall see you next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.